Hi. Hey Kara, and hey Internet. I'm Catherine, and since I'm doing the second video, I thought I would clarify on what exactly it is that we're doing. Kara and I have been friends since we met at band camp, and we are bad at staying in touch. We always have lived about an hour and a half away from each other, so we'd only see each other for like a week in the summer. And then we both went to college. So, yeah, we thought that this would be a good way of staying in touch. I go to McGill in Montreal. I'm 19, I'm a year younger than Kara. And I have to tell you, Kara, it is actually colder here right now. It is 35 degrees Fahrenheit or 2 degrees Celsius because, we use Celsius here. I do not have a Totoro pillow, but I do have a Game of Thrones poster, and I do have a bunch of photos of all of my friends from home because I am a homebody. I'm from Bangor, Maine, so Montreal is also my first experience of ever living in a city. And I haven't visited Edinburgh. I've never had the privilege of going to Scotland, but I think a lot of cities, walking a lot is just a thing because everyone here walks so much and you just get used to it. I walk so much more here than I ever walked at home just because everything is like a 30-minute walking distance and then you're just cool with that. And you can't do that in Maine. For people who haven't been to Maine, you just can't walk places in Maine because everything is really spread out. Yeah, so you told me about what you were reading, so I thought that I would tell you what I'm reading. This is what I'm currently reading. It's The Merlin Conspiracy. And a few years back, I worked at the Bangor Public Library, and they would let me take advanced reading copies of books. So I decided to take that one when I worked there, and I've been tearing through those because I read probably like 2 or 3 books for fun every week. This one is about like a universe where our Earth exists, but a bunch of Earths exist that are just slightly different. And the main one that it takes place on is Blessed. Blessed is a version of England, Wales, and Ireland and Scotland that is highly magical. Every world has some degree of magic, but Blessed is extraordinarily magical. So if something goes wrong there, a bunch of different worlds are going to like fall apart because the magical continuum will be ruined or whatever. There's 2 characters. There's Anriarod or Roddy. Well, there's lots of characters, the main ones. And she's from Blessed. She is the daughter of court magicians, and she is convinced there is this conspiracy going on with the Merlin. The Merlin is an hereditary position as the most important wizard within Blessed. Then there is Nick or Nicosens. He comes from a different empire, a world that hasn't really been explained to me yet, because I'm not quite done with the book. It's a little odd, a little jumbled, but I enjoy it in general. And since you were talking about how much you love interesting graphic novels, I thought I would tell you that I just read Persepolis. And if you haven't read Persepolis, you should absolutely read Persepolis. Persepolis is about it's a true memoir about this woman growing up in Iran during the revolution. And it's just about her experiences and about what it was like when she went to study in Austria and when she came back and being forced to veil and just all of her opinions and her stories. And it's really interesting to place in context of the revolution, and it's really beautifully drawn and illustrated, and that is probably the best memoir graphic novel that I personally have ever read. But yeah, so we're going to be trying to do videos every week on Saturday. They're going to be between 5 and 10 minutes, ideally. They might be longer or shorter depending on the week. And we decided that if you didn't do them, the other person was going to get to choose between either forcing you to sing a Broadway song or drink a bad alcoholic beverage. Or something else. We're flexible. But yeah, let me think. What you mentioned my cast of characters, so I'll tell you all about my friends that live in Montreal. First and foremost is Charlie. Charlie is the first friend I ever made in Montreal, and he has this crazy curly red hair. I met Charlie my very first day in my res freshman year. So last year, I walked out of my room. He was sitting in the hallway, cross-legged, playing a mandolin, and he asked me if I would endorse Wonderwall as the group anthem for our floor. That's pretty much all you need to know about Charlie. He is spontaneous, he is fun, and he is an excellent musician. He is also the DM for my Crazy Dungeons and Dragons group, which we play every Thursday. So if we do interesting things in there, maybe I'll also tell you about that. Then there is Simon. Simon was Charlie's roommate, so they both lived next to me last year. Simon is a computer science kid, the only friend I have who's not humanities. But he's really fun. He also loves Dungeons and Dragons. He loves the Beatles. He has a poster of different references from all the Beatles songs in his room. And he is probably the best pianist that I know. He is amazing. He can play everything. And last year, he would let me play his keyboard. And we like to go on just long rambling walks. He's very, very funny, very strange, always trying to get me to visit Toronto. So many people who go to McGill are from Toronto. Then, one of my other best friends here and my roommate is Rebecca. Rebecca is Charlie's girlfriend. I met her for the first time last year when I was DMing a Dungeons and Dragons group. And then we became good friends because we were in a Hinduism and Buddhism class together. And the first day I ate at the cafeteria with Rebecca, I told Charlie we were going to be roommates. He didn't believe me, but here we are. Rebecca is she's really smart. She's an IDS kid. She's super passionate about Tibet. That's her life passion project. And she's just one of these people that's always very calm and composed and just great at giving advice. Though I forgot to mention this, Charlie is actually the best at giving advice. Always ask Charlie if you have a problem. Then my other roommate, Sam. Sam is also from Toronto. Sam and Rebecca both, because everyone's from Toronto. And he is also a musical theater kid. You'd really like Sam. He likes to make up random songs and poems about whatever is crossing his mind, and then sing them as he slides across the living room. He's been learning how to cook this year, so it's been fun to observe that. And he's just super, super sweet. He's not in our Dungeons and Dragons game, but he always says he's going to play as a villain. Maybe one of these weeks will actually happen, so I'll mention it. Last, because he's most important, is my boyfriend, Ethan. I spend the majority of my time with him because I love him and he's the best. He has orange hair, but not crazy curly orange hair. It always looks nice because he's very concerned about it. We are both Islamic studies majors, and then I'm history and he's anthropology. And he's just brilliant. He's also an amazing cook. He can cook anything from scratch. And he's sweet. He never gets mad. And we just have the best time together. But anyways, this is my first video, and yeah, this is gonna be fun. Bye everyone, and bye Kara.